In an ancient land named Ephraim, there lived a woman named Hannah. She was kind and gentle, loved by many, but she carried a heavy heart. Hannah was married to a man named Elkanah. Her husband loved her deeply, but Hannah was sad because she had no children. This was a great sorrow for her because, in those days, having children was seen as a great blessing. Hannah and her husband traveled to a particular place called Shiloh every year. There, they worshiped God and offered sacrifices. It was a long journey, but they went faithfully. One year during this journey, Hannah felt especially sad. She watched other families with their children and her heart ached. She could not hold back her tears. After a meal with her husband, Hannah quietly slipped away to the temple. She knelt and began to pray. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Her prayer was deep and silent, a cry from her heart. She said, "Dear Heavenly Father, if you give me a son, I will give him back to you for all the days of his life." As she prayed, a priest named Eli noticed her. He saw her lips moving and thought she was drunk. He approached her and said, "How long will you be drunk? Put away your wine." Hannah looked up, her eyes filled with tears. "I am not drunk, my lord," she replied. "I am a woman troubled. I was pouring out my soul to the Lord. Please do not think poorly of me. I have been praying out of my great anguish and grief." Eli's expression softened. He understood now. "Go in peace," he said, "and may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him." Hannah felt a sudden peace wash over her. She thanked Eli and returned to her husband. She was no longer sad. She believed that God had heard her prayer. In time, God answered Hannah's prayer. She gave birth to a son and named him Samuel, which means heard by God. Hannah remembered her promise. When Samuel was old enough, she took him to Eli at the temple and said, "I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I asked of him. So now I give him to the Lord. For his whole life, he will be given to the Lord." Hannah's heart was full of joy. After she gave Samuel to God, she knew he would do great things, and so Samuel grew up in the temple, serving God all his life. Hannah's faith and dedication were rewarded, and her story became a lasting testament to the power of prayer and faithfulness.